Feel the power of you controlling your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. You've got your legs crossed, your back straight, your eyes closed. You remember the truth. You know the truth that you were born to win, to take control of your life the way you take control of your breathing. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. So let's do that right now. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can as we begin our day today in the best way possible. Winning the morning, winning our mind, and growing our minds and our bodies. And whatever we do. So right now, let's see ourselves doing the best walk we've ever done when that music shuts off. Right here, right where we are, right where we sit. Because we know the truth. After all, we're made of truth. We're made of the same stuff the universe is made of. That's what makes you infinitely intelligent. See yourself right now doing the best walk you've ever done when that music shuts off. When that music goes off, you're going to win. You're going to make it real. You're going to make your dream, your vision real. Good morning, determination. So good to be here together again today. A new day, a new chance to be better than we were the last time. Here we go, everyone. When I say go, we're going to start jogging. So right now, as you're doing your best walk, whether it's side to side or whether you're simply walking on the spot, I want you to see yourself doing your best jog on the spot when I say go. I miss you so much, Beverly Glen. I miss you so much, determination. But we get to unite right now with this energy. We get to remember. We get to be our true great self. To grow our minds and to grow our bodies, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. And the way we do this is the way we'll do everything. So here we go. Okay, go. Always focus on your breathing. Keep going a little bit more. And stop. Okay, walking back to our best walk. Stay focused on your breathing. Remember, the way you catch your breathing, the way you control your breathing, it's the same way you can control your thoughts and your feelings. Alright, let's start with some shoulder rolls forward. Let's do 10 forward. And and backwards. Okay, let's do some arm circles forward. Feel the power of you controlling your mind and your body. Feel the joy of being able to move your body through space the best way you can. And backwards. Okay, hands on your hips, bend your knees, and side stretch. Okay, let's twist our bodies. Twist. Hands on the hips. All right, and let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. 5 push-ups. All right, let's do 5 sit-ups together. Here we go. The best you can. Okay, and let's do 5 squats. Here we go. All right, and let's do lunges. 3 on each side, arms out. Alternating legs. All right, good. And let's do 10-second plank. Belly's knees off the ground. And stand up again, everyone. And let's reach for the ceiling on our toes. Hold it there for 10. Okay, and reach for your toes, straight knees. Remember to focus and control that breathing. Just reach. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Reaching is what matters. Alright, and stand up. And let's balance. Grab one leg and focus on planting that foot firmly into the ground. Bend the one knee if you have to find your balance point. And then pull that heel back towards your bottom. Excellent. Alright, and switch. The other one. Find that balance and hold. Very good. Okay, and now let's
Magic System, Red One, Shawty. Hey, yo, c'est le fun. Feel the magic. Comme d'habitude, on est calé. Comme toujours, ça va aller. seulement pour les bobos. Nous on vient d'un nous mambo. Mon ami, si tu as le niveau, rejoins-nous pour t'enjailler.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis et viens faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. Ah ouais, Magic System.
Toujours nous.
Ah, ça change pas.
Ah ouais.
Ah, Shawky avec Red One. Est-ce que ça marche? Ça va pas. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut. Avec les magiciens, c'est le pédigo. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus haut. Avec les magiciens. Oh, oh, oh.
Paul Messi. Messi breaks the angle and
Morning, guys. Today, Conor McGregor shares with us another piece of advice that will help every single day of our lives. And that is live every day like a champion. And this, I think, is where perhaps Conor McGregor is often misunderstood. I could be wrong, but he would think and live like a champion every single day, even before he became a champion in the UFC. And I think, some people might view that as being arrogant, confident, and view it in a negative fashion. But this man was simply using the most powerful thing in the world, our thoughts, his thoughts, to manifest and eventually become a champion. But he lived like a champion and still lives like a champion. How can we apply this today in our life? Whatever you're doing, even the most simplest thing, your job, live like a champion at that and watch what happens to your results. Have a good morning, everyone.
I think really most people do come to us because they want more abundance. How do you view an abundant life and getting one?
It's an access issue, right? And a lot of people don't have abundance because they don't have access to a bank. Well, a lot of people don't have abundance because they don't have access to themselves.
I really believe life is like a field of dreams. And if you're not careful, you're going to get to the end of your life and all you did was sit in the stands and clap for everybody else and worry and fret about how you're going to get your hands on the next check in your life. And maybe you need a coach just to help you get clear again on why you were born and what your life's like.
Please enjoy that journey because abundance will come because of your high agency. The abundance isn't the get. To me, abundance is that enjoyment of life. That's the get.
Bro, every time we do this, something magic happens. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. So, back by popular demand, every single month you're going to be with us when we do Thursday episodes, and I'm so honored to be joined by my dear friend, one of the greatest leaders I've ever met in my life, regardless of the industry, someone who's had such a huge impact on my life and literally millions of other people around the world. He is sort of, just so you guys know, the coach of most of the people in personal development. He is their coach behind the scenes. Brendon Burchard, welcome back to the show, brother.
It's such an honor. I feel the exact same about you, man. I've learned so much about you, and your podcast gets me fired up. And you're one of the few people I listen to when I actually work out. So
Yes,
you're my guy. I appreciate you.
I know you do. He's messaging me all the time. This is awesome. And it's probably because he's on the show about 25% of the time. But anyway, he does rave about the show. So we're talking about coaching, and that's what I want to get into today. I think everybody, this is going to be great insight to you into how to change yourself. So we're going to talk about how we coach people today. And I will brag on the two of us. USA Today did name us both the #1 and #2 mindset coaches in the world. And that's pretty cool stuff. So we figured since we were named that, we might as well take advantage of it and let you guys kind of have an inside look at what we do and what we think when we're coaching somebody. And you can sort of self-regulate and self-coach a little bit today as we go through it. So let me start with you, brother. When you first take somebody on that you're coaching, what is it that you look at to kind of deduce the direction you're going to go? What are some of your do's and don'ts?
I mean, first thing is, are they all in reaching next level? Otherwise, I don't want to work with them. Because sometimes you get people like, oh, I'd like to kind of improve, or I have this problem, Ed. If you could help me through this problem, I don't want to work with that person. I want to work with the people who go, there's another level for me. I sense it in my heart and my spirit. I know I can achieve that championship, or I know I could build this business, or I know I can break through. They have a higher ambition line in their life. And I'm listening to the connection that they have with that higher ambition. Otherwise, we're just a commodity solving a problem for somebody. And our job as coaches, when we're really serious, and I know you do this better than anybody else in the world, is you know how to level up people, right? It's not about just coaching somebody to solve a problem. It's about how do we level up who they are?
Yeah.
How do we help them not just solve a problem? How do we help them become more so they, in fact, want to take on bigger problems and achieve greater things, but this time do it with a little more sanity for themselves and for their families, hopefully.
What do you mean by more sanity? I'm just curious. What did you mean by that? There's an interesting add on there.
I think most people who come to coaching, they get coaching because they realize the last tour that they did, the last effort that they did, the last time they had success, they burned themselves out. They lost friends. They got unhealthy. They became addicted. They got divorced. They wrecked that relationship. They had success, but they also had lower levels of well-being and less positive relationships as they wanted. And the whole study that I do of high performance and helping people reach ultra success is all about how do you attain that next level of success, but this time, good well-being. This time, positive relationships. So you actually feel enjoyment and fulfillment and aliveness from it versus the grind.
You just hit one of your geniuses right there. When I think of what you just described, I actually think of you, meaning you do live that. And it's one of the things I've improved my coaching of myself because of that. I was just thinking about, I did a podcast on this recently about that lane you're in, and then I'll sort of add my piece to what I do. That serenity prayer that they pray in AA, and one of the things that they talk about in AA is basically praying enough to have the peace to let go of the things you can't control, and to focus on the things you can control, and to surrender to that, and to have the wisdom to know the difference between those two things. And one of the things that makes somebody acquire things in life and become successful is they're a control freak. You're 100% right. They're a control freak. And because they're a control freak, it really serves them in the acquisition of success, the acquisition of the promotion, the money, the title, the influence, whatever it might be. But the other side of that very thing is that it's the one thing that keeps them miserable, and the relationship's miserable, because they try to control the relationship there, and they try to control every result. And when you become somebody who learns to have the wisdom to know the distinction between the things you can control or should control and can't control, that can produce that part of the life that you talk about. I got to tell you one thing, as we were talking, I was thinking about the different types of people that I coach. And the easiest person that I coach is, I'm thinking about like one of my fighters right now who has a big fight coming up at Madison Square Garden. That's a really easy person to coach. And the reason that they're easier for me to coach is because we have a very specific stated outcome for this journey we're on, which is to win that fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's the outcome. But I think about the vast majority of people I coach, and even the ones that pay us both 6 and 7 figures. I got to tell you, it blows my mind that when someone will pay me a lot of money to coach them, and when we begin, I say, I'd just like to get clear on what it is you need my help with.
Uh-huh.
And their inability to answer that question. And
Right. They're
paying
hiring
me
you because they need clarity. That's right.
exactly right. You just nailed it on the head. So the easy person to coach is one of my athletes if it's just like for a fight. But in general, one of the reasons I think you need coaching in your life, and one of the things I would ask all of you listening to this or watching it today is like, how clear, truly clear on, are you exactly what it is that you do actually want? And I think a lot, not what everyone else has told you you want, or what your parents think you should have wanted, or even what you used to want and haven't quite got yet. Like in this moment right now, what is the result you want to produce? What are the results, or what is the result? What is your stated outcome? And I think that's one of the reasons having a coach to help you get real clarity on not the thing that it sounds like you want, but the thing you truly want. If I went back and thought about it, I never wanted to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I wanted how I thought that would make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I never wanted to be, I didn't have to be completely fit all the time in my life. I wanted how I thought that would make me feel. I say the right things about I want to learn to help all kinds of people, and I do, but I also sort of had a vision of how that would make me feel if I could contribute to other people's lives. And so it's not always just stated destinations. It may be an emotional home you want, an emotional goal you have in your life. And I'm just curious, when you start working with someone, what do you look for? So one is obviously helping them get clear on what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But is there something else you look for? Like, do you work on their weaknesses compared to their strengths? Or what's your process?
Yeah, I'm way more into not looking at their personalities. Most people, I don't think about their Enneagram. I don't have to do personality tests or even focus on strengths and weaknesses. I say, what kind of life are you trying to build? And I think you're actually really good at this. And I want to add into something you said earlier about, maybe you have this person who wants to win this fight, and that's the outcome. I also know that what makes you a phenomenal coach is you're a mentor to these gentlemen, that you aren't just telling them how to win in the ring.
Sure.
You're very good about telling them how to live a life. And you're also very good about not just how to win in this next fight, you're setting them up for how to win in life as a career too. So it's not just this fight, but how do they win the next 5 fights? And so I think one thing that coaches are always doing, we're looking at a longer term perspective for people. And you're world class at that, and mentoring them in character development. And not just their feelings, which you're good at too, but about how they want to live, how they want to experience life as they're trying to hit this milestone or this achievement or win that particular sport. It's that so much of coaching is helping people kind of recalibrate to character.
Yeah.
And think again about, what should life feel like? What is life about for me? How do I want to achieve this and feel and experience it this time? Because last time I just didn't sleep for 5 months and I got lucky. It's like this time, no, let's just do it better this time. I also believe that people only want 4 things. And everybody I've ever sat down with, it's just so clear that they'll want one of 4 things. They might not know it yet. Everyone wants, and I'll go fast because you already know these, but they want aliveness. The number one thing when I work with people, they don't know, they want aliveness. Brendon, I lost my drive, my motivation, my spark. I want that enthusiasm, that passion again. Or maybe I want more presence. I want, as your word, I want more bliss in my life. That's a sense of there's a certain aliveness and reverence to life that people want to feel. And a lot of people want that pop of adventure or passion. Other people want that bliss and that presence and that spirituality that comes with aliveness. But I use the word aliveness. Other people might use the word vibrancy or energy. I also know that people want deep connection. They want better relationships with themselves and everybody around them. They want friendship. They want to be closer with their spouse. I also know people want meaningful pursuits. And this is a big one. They don't want just meaning. That was like the 80s. What people want now is meaningful pursuit. It means a lot of people have a meaningful life, but they're not in the hunt anymore. You know, I know lots of people, they run major nonprofits. They're incredibly unhappy because the pursuit isn't there, the hunt. We're goal-driven human species. We want to be in the hunt on something. It's why you haven't retired. You could retire. Ed Milet has an unbelievable, meaningful life, amazing family, amazing achievements, worldwide reach, unbelievable impact. He's still done, but you can't retire on meaning. Humans want the hunt, pursuit. What am I in pursuit of? Is that purposeful and meaningful and fulfilling to me? And then the fourth thing is growth.
Gosh.
We want to grow in competency, capability, our own spirit and character. And so when you say, what am I working with them on? It's not strengths and weaknesses as much as it's, okay, I just draw out this little triangle, put aliveness, meaningful pursuits, connection, and growth in the middle. And we kind of work through it.
Yep.
And we see where they feel like they've, you know, what I call gone ultra. They've gone that extra mile in each area. And in other areas, we just identify where they really need to do some work.
So good. I want to add to that, but I want to make, you said something about ultra, so I might as well ask you this now. Hey guys, when you think about businesses growing beyond their forecast, you could think about something like Feastables by Mr. Beast, right? Or even a legacy business like Mattel. And obviously you think about the product they have to have and branding and the influence and all that other stuff. But what most people don't think about enough is the behind the scenes. And the behind the scenes of businesses, you know, things like making things easier for shoppers, buying, etc., is really simple. And for millions of businesses, including mine, that business is Shopify. I don't even know what I would do without them when it comes to my books, my gear. Basically everything we do goes through Shopify, just like Mr. Beast or Mattel or many of the other big brands that you know. So nobody does it better than Shopify, #1 checkout place on the planet, and the not so secret Shop Pay, which boosts conversions by 50%. All these things come only with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Mr. Beast gets with Feastables at Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/Milet, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Milet to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Milet. I also think, and oftentimes, I think winning is about somewhere around 50% mental and about 50% environmental. And I think oftentimes, if you don't surround yourself with an environment that can support these new choices and behaviors you're making, it's almost like an ecology test for what you're doing, right? Like you have to have an environment that supports it. And you can create those environments in a lot of other ways. So your association, your friends. The other thing you can do is be a part of a group that does that. And I just, I think my audience just needs to know this. Like, you've created this incredible environment called Ultra. I contribute in that environment. We work together in it on a very regular basis, you and I and others. But just like really quickly, and then I'm going to add to what you just talked about in terms of what I work with somebody on as well. But go ahead. If someone wanted to find out about your environment or the one I work in with you at Ultra, where would they go?
Yeah, people can go to ultra.vip. That's literally the website, ultra.vip, to learn about it. So I think that so much of coaching is also reminding people, get around other amazing people. Like,
let's hug the one knee. Here we go. Bring that knee up. And again, find that balance. And hold it there. 10 seconds. All right, and switch to the other one. Slowly bring it up. All right, good job. Excellent. Okay, and let's sit down. And let's stretch out and reach for our toes. Straight knees. Here we go. Again, reaching is what matters. It's okay if you don't touch your toes. Just give your best. Feel the joy. Feel the process of you working to become better at every movement you make. Every stretch you do. Okay, here we go. Let's do V-shape now with the legs. So V-shape. And reach for the floor as far away from your body as you can. reach for one side. Hold it there. And switch to the other side. Alright, let's bring our feet together now. And gently push your knees down with your elbows and hold it there for 10. Here we go. Again, feel that power of you in the now, in the moment. Winning. W-I-N, I've heard before, stands for what's important now. What's important now is doing our best in whatever we do. Okay, let's go one leg forward and one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground and go as far back as you can without hurting yourself. Keep that knee down though. Here we go. And switch, the other one now. Again, keep that knee down. Go as far back as you can. Okay, good. All right, and let's roll onto our belly. And let's push the floor and look up at the ceiling. Cobra stretch. Here we go. Hold it for 10. All right, excellent. Okay, legs crossed again. Back straight. Eyes closed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now I want you to see yourself right now. When that music goes on, I want you to see yourself doing the best you can on an exercise of your choice. For me today, I'm going to be working on challenging myself to do as many push-ups and air squats as I can. So I'm going to see that in my mind right now. I'm going to try to be a little bit better than I was last time. What about you? Think about it. What is there that you want to get better at? What exercise do you want to do? Remember, it's got to be within the rules, safety rules. Rules that are there for you to keep you safe. So this is the space we have right here. So what exercise will you do to the best of your ability when that music goes on? I want you to see that clearly in your mind right now. You might want to do jumping jacks. You might want to do burpees. You might want to simply dance, move your body to the music. If you want to play your own music, you can do that as well. I've got my music here. You feel free to enjoy that. But I want you to see yourself when that music goes on, doing the best you can, whatever exercise you choose. Because you know the truth. The way you do that is the same way you will improve and do better at anything. All right, determination, let's go. Let's feel that energy moving up. Here we go. Music always changes our energy state. Whatever you do, you gotta believe that you can do better. Here I go. As many push-ups as I can do. Alright, we got 53 today. I gotta remember that for next time. What is it for you? What are you doing right now? Maybe you're doing some jumping jacks. Maybe you're dancing to the music. Whatever it is you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. You were born to be your best all the time. Remember your breathing. Always believe that you can be better than you were the last time. Even if you don't get exactly where you want to be. The process, the struggle, fighting to be better than you were last time. That's what's going to bring you your joy and your happiness. We have our determination. We get to work on that all the time. Alright, air squats are next for me. What about you?
Wanna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders, do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. It's simple, you can do it. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Now cool down, have a good time. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Do the butterfly, have a good time. Round, round, round and round you go. It's time to show out right now and take to the floor. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now. Gon' throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Take it down now, take it down now. Take it down now, take it down now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Take it down and crisscross. Bring it up now, crisscross. Do whatever you like right here. Just have fun. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip
And Messi suddenly's in space again. He's timed his run to perfection. This could be two, and it is two.
The corner is headed against the post, and it's Messi.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you doing today? How is living your life like a champion going? Have you been perhaps defeated? Have you been in a situation where it hasn't gone your way? Are there thoughts in your head right now where they are not serving you because you're not thinking like a champion and therefore not living like a champion? Well, I want to remind you, again, use the two most powerful tools you have right now. That is your belief in yourself and your determination to not give up on living, but first of all, thinking like a champion. So get back at it again today, wherever you are. Start to think and fill your mind with thoughts of you being a champion human being, because that's something that is ongoing. So right now, think about how you can change your mind to think as a champion of a human being. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Like as a coach, we are working on their relationships as much as their objectives.
You're right. Well, I think one of the reasons is this, is that why environments matter, or just in general, guys, coaching. I've kind of distilled my own success down over the years to kind of a simple thing recently, and I'm probably oversimplifying it, but I need to make sure I'm vibrating at the highest possible frequency I'm capable of the majority of the time.
Wow.
In other words, yes, you need to acquire the tactics and strategies that make you successful. But assuming you have those things, my job is some form of self-care, meaning I'm like the athlete. You listening to this, you're the thoroughbred of your life. You have to be ready for the race. And most times, walking into a meeting, making a pitch, coaching somebody, giving a speech, writing your book, selling your product, whatever it is, the most important thing you can do is show up. This sounds so trite, but show up your best. Like
yes.
The best you. And that's a vibrational frequency. That's an energetic thing. And when you've got life pulling away your frequency and your energy and your focus, and you're depleting it on things you can't control, and you're not clear on exactly what you want, all these things contribute to a lower vibrational frequency. And then you're not attracting to yourself the things you're worthy of because you've depleted your frequency. And oftentimes, like guys, when I coach somebody, people ask me this all the time. Brendon mentioned, character development. The biggest thing for me when I'm vibrating at my highest frequency, the highest frequency is truth. And the highest truth is to yourself. And that's why these things all are interconnected. Let me explain, everybody. When you're keeping the promises that you make to yourself, when you're living in congruency with the values you have said you want to live by, you vibrate at a very high frequency and you become magnetic. So it's not just if I say I'm going to get up at a certain time, I get up. Or if I'm going to work out 5 days a week, I work out. If I'm going to drink a gallon of water, I do it. If I'm going to make 10 contacts, I do it. That's one thing, which is keeping the promises you make to you. This is something that is so important. And one thing about having a coach or being in a group is it can hold you accountable to these things you say you want. The other part of it is living in congruency with your values. That's to be true to oneself. So if you value fitness and you're living a fit lifestyle, you're feeding something in you that grows you. And why, when I get a coach, when I have people that I coach, people say to me, what do you work on, like with a really ultra successful person? No pun intended. And you'd be surprised why most people come to me. And this will make you feel good about yourself, everybody. Most people at every level, to get to the next level in their life, doubt whether they can. They doubt. And what contributes to that doubt is discouragement. And I talk oftentimes about the 4 Ds: doubt, discouragement, delay, and delusion. But setting the last two aside, how are you going to eradicate your doubts if you're not working on yourself? And so what most of the time is we're talking through things to strengthen their certainty, strengthen their confidence. Self-confidence is this like really overcooked thing in personal development. But the truth of the matter is most people aren't working on building their self-confidence. The fastest path to self-confidence is to keep the promises that you make to you, because now you're building a reputation with yourself that you do what you say you're going to do. And then on top of that, if you live in accordance with your values, that's pretty hot. But most people come to me working on their doubts. That same fighter, they need more certainty they're going into the ring. That executive to take the company to the next level, that salesperson who wants, it's usually doubt related and finding some level of certainty, because in every situation, typically the more certain person wins. Certainty matters. So that's why when you have a coach, it matters. And when you're coaching yourself and working yourself, it's developing certainty. And then discouragement. Discouragement, everyone, is really to remove courage from somebody. So to become more courageous, see, courage is, courage is something, you operate when there's fear anyway, right? The opposite of courage to me is conformity. Think about that. It's to conform. It's courageous to live a life on your own terms. Discouraged people conform. Listen, everyone. Discouraged people conform. I'm going to go back to the life my parents said I should have. I'm going to color within the lines. I'm not going to really try to stretch or push anything. I'm just going to conform to the norm. And so when I see someone who's a conformist, I think they're a coward. And I think they're a coward because they're discouraged. And so I want to challenge you all. Don't conform. Don't color within the lines. Find something in your life that gets you to chase, as Brendon said. I just did a podcast on this, that human beings need to chase. I'm curious, in your case, are there strategies you use yourself or when you coach to help people with doubt or discouragement to increase confidence and certainty?
Yeah, I think there's only 3 tools in coaching. I call it the coaching coin. One side of the coin is compassion. And so when you're working with a client and they're in that doubt, or they have that question in their mind, or they're not certain, we have to meet them with a certain level of compassion. And I'm going to tell everyone this because it's really important to hear. It's like, you might know me and Ed as like the motivational speakers or the podcasters, but when we're coaching, we're not doing that at a person very often. Instead, we're often asking questions to elicit their own options. We're asking questions to help them find and discover their own path. Like Ed just said, he's not trying to get them to conform just to do this. He's trying to say, what would work for you? Have you tried this before? What draws your enthusiasm, or how do you want that to go? We're asking lots of questions to help them find their answers. That's what real coaching is. And so we're trying to find some level of compassion for themselves. Because if you doubt yourself, you probably dislike yourself. You're discouraged. You dislike that you got so discouraged and you stopped. You're part of the herd and you wanted to break free, but you tried, they made fun of you, you came back in. And so we got to meet them with compassion, and our conversation and our questions have to help elicit self-compassion from them. The other side of the coin is challenge. And challenge is, I think, what Ed is phenomenal at. He can just, Ed can look at you and pierce an arrow right through your brains. You're just toast. He's just so insightful. He's seen it before. He just picks up on every way that you move and every way you talk. And he has a way of just knowing. So now he's going to push. I always say coaches are paid to push. We're challenging them to go to another level. And so great coaches issue challenges, but again, they almost feel like Socratic challenge. We're asking questions that make them think about truth, think about the right thing, and generate their options. And the middle of the coin, if you can, is like compassion on one side, challenge on the other side. The middle is just dialogues of discovery. And that dialogue of discovery is you're just trying to ask the questions that help them find their own aha. Because if they find the aha, it locks in. If you just shout at them, they get temporarily motivated. And so much of what we're doing in coaching is trying to help them generate the option, but also they generate the breakthrough. They find their answer. They find their courage. You can tell someone to be courageous all day long. They're the ones who have to step up in the ring. Yeah. So when they find their courage through a dialogue with you, they'll always go, you changed my life. And really all you did is you open up the gates with some good questions.
That's so true. When I met Wayne Dyer, I told him, you changed my life. And he goes, I doubt that. I bet you changed your life, but how did I help you? And that's
Love that.
exactly right, brother.
So, hey guys, about a year ago, Rocket Money started sponsoring the show, and I'm like, you know what? I probably don't have any subscriptions I'm paying for that I don't know about, right? And then Rocket Money found $700 a month, more than that actually, about $730 a month that I was spending on a bunch of subscription stuff off my card that I had no idea I was paying for. Rocket Money helped me out tremendously, and here's why. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. You can see all of your subscriptions in one place, know exactly where your money is and is not going, and Rocket Money can help you cancel the ones that you don't want right on the money. Rocket Money will even help negotiate your bills for you. Sometimes it can save you up to 20%. So Rocket Money has over 5 million users. The average person has saved over $740 a year and over $500 million so far in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting your money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Milet. That's rocketmoney.com/Milet. Rocketmoney.com/Milet.
We were debating today, you guys. I'm going to let you behind the scenes because we really want to serve when we do something. Like we both like, hey man, our podcast together are special. And so we were debating today. Do we want to let you behind the veil a little bit of coaching? And by the way, some of these strategies you can use for yourself as well, bro.
All right, air squats. Let's see how many I can do here before I get tired. Too tired to keep going, but there's always a little bit more. That's determination. All right, here we go. You can feel free to do the same thing, or again, do your own thing. You got your own dance, your music, whatever you want to do. Whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability. Here we go. All right, how's everybody feeling? We got the blood flowing. We've given our best at something. Feeling the power of us controlling our breathing again. There's no greater joy than that. For me, no greater joy than the awareness of our determination. So sometimes I try to do these exercises and I try to do as many reps as I can in a minute. That's one way to do it. You can change up your intensity, the amount of reps you do, the time you have, that's up to you. But whatever you choose, always try to get a little bit better than you were last time.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, but riding in cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I keep going back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
Good evening, guys. How did it go today? Was there a time where you lived and felt like a champion today? Even one moment? Well, hopefully there was, but if there wasn't, again, the mark of a champion, and especially a champion human being, is getting back up, getting back in there, going back to that time and that opportunity, and thinking how you can respond better. And so, for me, this has been the theme of my life, and I'm sure many people. We're always getting defeated. We're always getting knocked down. We're always making mistakes. But the thing that drives me is the thought that I want to be a champion, and I'm starting to think like one, and I want you to as well. The fact that we can work on the most powerful thing in the world, our thoughts, which is the same for everyone, makes us champions already. So let's live it forever. Have a great evening, everyone. Good evening.
I got to ask you this because we're going to do a whole podcast on it, but let's go back and forth on this for a minute. I think really most people do come to us because they want more abundance. They want a more abundant relationship. They want more abundance financially, more abundance of contribution, more abundant memories. Yeah. And this abundance thing in life is really an elusive thing. There's lots of schools of thought about abundance. And I agree with you. It's just amazing. I just recorded a podcast earlier today that'll come out before this one. And I basically had two principles: challenging and chasing and competing. It's amazing. We did not talk about this at all. And I covered it 3 hours ago as I was recording a different show. So I totally agree with that. Same time, I do feel like abundance is something that you can tune into also. It's almost like a frequency or a way of being. Where things begin to be easier to get than they are if you're not tuned in correctly. You could still probably get it, but like you said, by the time you get there, you're beat up and tired and have fractured relationships or your body or your spirituality to get it. And so what's your theory about it? Do you tune into abundance? Is that too theoretical? Like, how do you view an abundant life and getting one?
Man, I'm probably a little bit old school, like transcendentalist on that. Emerson would talk about how when you are able to connect to nature in the moment, when all of your life has had this confluence of flowing to the moment now, and here in this moment is where the world is happening. And when you can be what he would reference is like your inner light, when you can be connected with your inner light, or what they used to say, your inner divine, which I always love that language. When you are connected with your inner divine, your inner wisdom, your inner light, that true soul within you, when you are connected and seated there and you sense that, it brings you into the present moment where all the world is happening. And now you have access to the world's power and beauty, is what he would talk about.
Wow.
So when you are at nature with yourself and the world, you have access to the entire world's power and beauty. And I always thought that was a profound, I mean, it's still a transcendentalist, but for those Emerson fans out there, it's what gives you self-reliance, in his language and his famous essay, is tuning into the nature of who you really are.
Yes.
And when you're in that place, it's almost like, as another mentor and friend of mine, Paulo Coelho, said, the whole world conspires, the whole universe conspires to see things happen for you because you're in the right place. If you're in the wrong place, or you're faking it, or you're conforming, you're out of tune with your nature and probably what the divine intended for you. So the path doesn't seem so open in front of you. It seems like a lot of blocks. Well, a lot of those blocks are sometimes put there to knock you back into where you were supposed to be. So sometimes our obstacles and blocks were actually given us so that we can like realign to what's true for ourselves, which is what I love you shared earlier. Truth is that highest power. It's like, when you're aligned with truth of who you are and what you believe you're meant to be, or what you believe the divine is within you, there's a different level of access. And so I usually don't always say the word abundance, but to me, it's an access issue, right? And a lot of people don't have abundance because they don't have access to a bank. Well, a lot of people don't have abundance because they don't have access to themselves.
One of the best answers I've ever heard. That was an answer. I don't even know what to do after that. I'm going to have to. Okay, let me say this to you. Here's how much we agree. So I'm sitting here in my office, guys. I'm not in the studio today because I had a technical issue in the studio, so I'm recording it. If you're watching the YouTube, that's why it looks a little different in the background. And right next to everywhere I work in my office is this picture. It's an autographed picture from the lead actor from my favorite movie, Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, yeah.
Field of Dreams is my favorite movie. And I look at this all day long, and he sent me a bunch of stuff. And it says, "Hey, Ed, want to have a catch?" And but it's my favorite movie of all time. And the reason it's my favorite movie of all time is exactly, to some extent, what you just said. I really believe life is like a field of dreams. And the movie, the whole principle of the movie is, he says, if you build it, they will come. And in our lives, the first time we build it is in our dreams. It's in our mind. And when you're coaching somebody, part of your job is to turn that dream machine on when they tap into that state that you just talked about. And for so many of you listening to this today, you're just grinding through your life, one decision to the next, just trying to survive. And if you're not careful, you're going to get to the end of your life and you're going to never realize that God put you on this field of dreams, and all you did was sit in the stands and clap for everybody else and worry and fret about how you're going to get your hands on, the next check in your life. And this isn't about money. But the reason I love the movie so much is the very end of the movie, and I cry every time I watch it, he basically gets a chance to play catch with his dad at the end of the movie. Kevin Costner does, right? And it distills life down into what really matters to you. What are the peaceful, beautiful moments of life? And of all the dreams in the world, this movie breaks down to a simple thing of a father and a son just playing catch. And oftentimes in our lives, we're going to figure out that it's the simple things that we really want, and that we've overcomplicated and cluttered our lives with things we think we want that we really don't. And the message today to everybody is that this is not trying to be hokey. I'm really not. Okay. And I know there are problems in life and stresses, but you're not going to get out of this alive. And so what are those moments of your life? I think life comes down to a handful of just beautiful moments. The more of these moments we get, the more the father and the son having a catch. And if we wake up and realize I'm living in a field of dreams, my life is a field of dreams, what would that look like? How would I want it to feel? And I really do believe if you build it in your mind, they will come. Build that vision for your company. Build it for what you want it to be. Become that person, live in congruency. They will come. Build that dream of the family you want to have. And I believe she or he will come and the children will come. Build that idea you've got, that great concept, and the people you're going to heal and help, they're going to come, right? That thing you want, that home you want, build it in your mind and it will come. It will be built. And so I just want you to have that thought in your mind of what your life is, because so many people, I think, are living in a matrix that's not true in their life. And maybe you need a coach just to help you get clear again on why you were born and what your life's like. So, man, that idea of Emerson, brother, that's gonna stay with me into the evening tonight and really process that. So let me ask you one last thing, since I went on my...
So it was that Field of Dreams, and when you showed me the picture, I know not everyone, if you're listening on the podcast, go to his YouTube and watch this, because he showed the picture of the star from Field of Dreams, the father in that. Man, I read it before you said it, and it just said on there, "Let's have a catch." And I was like, I almost cried the second, because it's such a beautiful idea that, you know, life does break down to these beautiful scenes. And so go live them out.
This is one of those for me with you. Like when I'm with you, that's the case. Guys, there's nothing better than a great moment with a friend where you're helping people. There's nothing like that in life. And you can have these moments. Maybe you need a coach to get it, though. Maybe you do. Let me ask you this last, brother. I want to leave it to you last. You know what I'm also looking at? Just ironically, right next to me, everyone on YouTube, is a picture of my dad. So there's the Field of Dreams picture here of, hey, Ed, want to have a catch, where he catches with his dad. And then I got a picture of my dad. And these are the things that, and by the way, looking at my dad is one of the things that helps me continue to live by my values. You need triggers and reminders of this is, I'm trying to make him proud of me. I'm trying to live by a certain standard. I'm trying to keep the promises I made to him and to me. And for all of you, the bigger reasons you can find in your life, the more emotional, big reasons you can find to stay on that path or to change that path. I often believe most of the juice of life is just having big enough, compelling reasons. And if you know why, you can figure out how. You can figure out how. So any other thoughts on any of this, Brendon? This obviously has been a magic
I want to give the gift that you gave them earlier about a little behind the scenes. I just want to compliment Ed in two ways, and I want you to hear. I want everyone to know this, because I know this is your audience listening to this. And before Ed and I even hit record, he was coaching a friend of his who's in turmoil, and was sending him a text. He said, "Hey, Brendon, hold on, I got to help this person right here." And he was coaching that person, I'll just say, on how to not get engaged with something that would, you know, mess up with his character. You know, he was telling him basically take the higher road here. And so Ed actually lives this. He is coaching people all the time. He's doing it in his life and his coaching and his one-on-one people. He really does it. And I want to share another thing about life ending and appreciating it. My biggest breakthrough this year happened at Ultra, and I know exactly where you were standing, Ed. It was the most, I've shared the story so many times to other groups since it happened with us. It was at our 2 Ultras ago. You came out, I remember where you stood on the stage. I remember, because I was backstage, and it rarely ever happens, and you know this to be true. You rarely see a speaker on stage doing their thing, and then they stop, and they get in a moment of reflection, and you can tell they just changed the whole speech. And Ed was walking, and he's telling the stories of so many of his amazing breakthroughs and achievements, and he talked about his island and his, you know, unbelievable successes and the journey and the struggles to get there. But then he's walking across stage, and he just stops, and he stands. I remember you were standing right by the speaker. I know where the speaker is. I know where the monitor is. You stood right there, and he just went quiet for a minute, and then you said to the audience, "Do you know, but I have to tell you that if this was my last day, I would have a regret. And one of the regrets is that, you know, I didn't have enough fun. I could have enjoyed it more."
Once again, legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed, focused on our breathing. Back to our breathing. That powerful force keeping us alive, keeping our energy flowing. And we don't really think about it. We never really attempt to control our breathing, most of us anyway. But we were born to do that too. To remember that in any moment, we can take charge of it, the way we take charge of our breathing. Same way we take charge of our mind, our thoughts.